Good morning once again. Last time we are looking at the introduction, talked about given aspects, and now today we are going to be looking at how things try to evolve, and also we look at how geography as a discipline try to develop. Now, when you look at geography as a discipline, we are looking at how it developed in terms of the history. They are saying that history of geography, it has been in existence, or it has been spans across very many centuries. And these centuries we have seen people evolving ideas, or having ideas, or conducting a deep analysis of historical evolutions, which gives a clear insight in characters depending to a given methodology of a subject. When you look at geography as a discipline, we are going to be looking at different groups of people. We are going to be seeing how physical geography came into existence. How did it grow and develop? In other words, the growth and development of physical geography as a discipline. So, when you look at physical geography as a subject, it has been seen as it has been seen in its development, depending to what we call the Greek scholars, and also we are seeing now what we call the Roman and the Indians come into existence in order to develop different ideas concerning different research that they had conducted. When you look at the Greeks, for them, they are saying that for them they are following two kinds of traditional theories, or they are following two kinds of traditions in their works. In other words, we are looking at one of the aspects that they used to consider is known as the mathematical tradition. This mathematical tradition, for it, was mainly focusing on what we call locations or places, and also on the it was mainly looking at the traditional. It was mainly looking at the location of places and the work. In other words, we are going to be looking also the other aspect known as gathering information. This idea of gathering information, for it they were using what we call the field work analysis, or field work, or observing, going to the field in order to get the information. So the first aspect we talked about was the traditional methods of using mathematical tradition, and also the other thing is gathering information. When you look at the first one, known as the mathematical information, these people we are using we are focusing on location of places depending on the Earth's surface. Whereas the traditional gathering information, these people we are going in for field work to obtain information. Those are the Greeks. The first attempt they were using, it was mathematical. The other that they were using, it was gathering information through what we call the physical geography. How did they gather information? Through using different methods of gathering data, or data correction. When we push on, they are saying that the Greeks contributed the physical through their works in terms of climatic change, in terms of wind, talk about rainfall, talk about the mountains, and also talk about data building, and also what we call earthquake. Talk about flooding along which their causes in terms of volcanoes, and transformation of the topographical or topographic features. So for them, they are dealing with the aspect of features. They are studying the climate, talk about winds, mountains, and also other things in that aspect. So when it comes now to other people, talk about the Romans. For them, they are focusing on the facts that existed on the earth. In others, they are dealing with what we call the earth is the shape of the earth, or what we call stable. These people, we are dealing with what we call the spherical aspect of the earth. So these people were able to divide it into different zones. In other words, the earth. So they had to divide the earth into different zones. So they are saying that the circle upon the sphere is what we call the equator. In other words, the line that demarcates the two to form what we call the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere is what we call an equator. So they are referring to that a sphere known as a circle, or what we can refer to a spherical shape of the earth. It is divided by what we call the equator, and that equator, it has got other lines known as the tropics, and also it has what we call the Arctic Circle, in other words the earth. They are saying that he discussed the changes that have occurred all over the face, and also on the other hand on the earth, owning the translations and also regressions of the sea, as well as due to the earthquakes, or due to what we term as earthquake, and also what we call the volcanoes. So that's how we are seeing geography as a discipline, or depending different scholars how they came to define geography and how the research was made. I talked about the mathematical traditional method and also the gathering information depending to the field worker research or field worker aspect. So those are the two aspects according to the different scholars. We talked about the Greek scholars, and also talked about what we have termed as the Roman and the Indians. So those are the people that mainly came with the different aspects concerning geography as a subject in terms of its development. Then with the Indians, for them they were focusing on the knowledge concerning the topography, not the relief or the aspect of the landscape, how it used to appear. For them, they are dealing with the aspect of the topography in order to discuss how things were made. They also dealt with what called the fauna and the flora. In other words, understanding how the plants and the animals they are referring to in terms of natural resources. The Indians, for them, they are focusing on what we call the lakes and the rivers to come up with the development of geography as a discipline. But also this point we are using the aspect of mathematical tradition geography, and also what we have termed as the geographical information method of gathering information from the field. So in long run, those are the key personalities that we can talk about that led to the development of geography as a discipline. When we continue, below there we have a chart trying to show how geography has helped, or how geography as a discipline has promoted the development of other sectors. When you look at that chart, it shows geography, but below it is demonstrating how physical branch, it is demonstrating the physical branch, and also what we call the human branch of geography. Within those two branches is where we are going to be seeing how has the physical part influenced and how has the human part influenced. So when you look around it, we are seeing agricultural land uses, we are seeing regional development, we are seeing economic geography, we are seeing the cultural geography, we are seeing the marine geography, we are seeing the biological geography, we are seeing hazard assessments, we are seeing climatology, we have what we call geomorphology, we have what we call the soils, we have what we call the environmental geography, and also the geographical information system. So that is the chart showing how geography as a discipline developed, depending on the aspect of the physical and also the aspect of the human geography as branches of geography. So I think with that part we are done with what we call the development of geography. So we are going to be coming back now, look at the earth itself. How did the earth come into existence? In other words, what does the earth contain in terms of the internal structure and also in terms of the external structure. For now, I beg we submit where we shall be picking up next time. For now, I beg to submit.